Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Future of Business. This is episode 4, and it's going to be our first episode with a guest. I'll be speaking with David Palmer. David Palmer is an enterprise blockchain expert, and he's the head of blockchain business at Vodafone. So I think you're going to really enjoy this particular discussion with David. We really get into a lot of different aspects in detail about the enterprise blockchain ecosystem, about the Metaverse, about NFTs, about identity. So here we go. So David, so excited to have you here on the program. And I've been following your work on LinkedIn and on social. You've been very active, working with the Web3 ecosystem, both on the enterprise and then keeping people abreast of what's happening on consumer. So it would be great to know a little bit more about you, right? And so if you can tell us a bit about yourself, where you're located, what you've been up to these last couple of years, that would be great.
Excellent. Jorden, thank you so much for having me on the show. So I'll probably take that question backwards. So I'm located in London, England. The weather is fantastic today, 16 degrees. That we've seen the sun for the first time in a very, very long time. So London is a beautiful city today. I am the Vodafone business blockchain lead. So I've been exploring blockchain for Vodafone for the past 4 or 5 years, looking at use cases, looking at how blockchain technology could be applied to the business. And a bit about myself, I am an innovator and a technologist and an economist, right? So maybe a unique mix. That's probably
that's interesting.
Yeah, that's probably why my posts are on LinkedIn are a bit different to others, because I tend to look at things maybe with a different balance.
Sure.
But very, very sort of interested in decentralized technologies in blockchain, in the applications of that technology. So currency, NFTs, tokens, and basically trusted automated business, and also very interested in cryptocurrency.
Wonderful. Well, that's a great segue. How did you get into crypto and blockchain, and give us a little bit of your journey into the space.
It is a journey. So as you know, 2009, 2010, Bitcoin, only known to a very few small segment of the population of, you could call us all mad, but I started to mine Bitcoin 2011, 2012.
That's really early.
Just for the heck of it, right? Because a friend of mine sort of said this is the future, and he had some on his hard drive that he was mining, and I tried to do it, and I managed to mine a few and then got bored, right? But was really fascinated in decentralization. The fact you could have a currency that couldn't be stopped, that couldn't be controlled, that couldn't be, where you couldn't increase the supply artificially, and that coming off 2007, 2008 was really interesting to me, because it seemed to provide opportunities for several other use cases. So that was with it. I became more fascinated with Ethereum, and started to play around with Solidity and programming smart contracts. But really looking at that from the perspective of, can we automate trust, right? Can we automate agreements? And then really the obvious question is, how can this technology or these technologies influence my own environment, which is telecoms. I've been in telecoms and IoT for the last 10 years. So I started to look at the application of enterprise blockchain or blockchain in enterprise.
Awesome.
And more specifically use cases for telecoms and IoT, where this technology could make a difference. So that is my journey, and now I'm taking that further and looking at the application of Web3 and blockchain for the Metaverse.
Awesome. Well, that's quite a journey, right? Going from crypto in the early days through to Ethereum, enterprise blockchain, And you mentioned, you've been working with the enterprise environment for the last decade. What do you really see as the benefits from Web3 for this environment? I mean, you've been, like you mentioned, in so many different aspects of it. So where do you see the key use cases, and where do you see the opportunities?
So that is a loaded question, Jordan, and it's not a simple one, right? So Web3 and the established enterprise do not go together, because on the one hand, you have a decentralized principle, a decentralized technology, decentralized governance, which with no control points, empower and democratization to the consumer or the participants. And on the other hand, you have business where enterprises where, largely if you go back to basic economics, it's all about barriers to entry in markets. It's all about control points. It's all about, market segments, etc. So from a pure conceptual, theoretical point of view, the two things do not go. However, what you're seeing is that certain aspects of the technology is being used. So I'll say decentralized technology. It is being used to automate business, to automate trust between businesses on a business-to-business level, in supply chain logistics, in things like telecoms roaming, where you have a number of businesses in a consortia or in a market segment. Sure. That want to lower costs. So I think you're seeing it at its most basic level there. I do not think that the progression will be linear. So I do not believe that we will just see, one day an organization swap out Oracle or SAP and put in this new decentralized technology. I think there is a fundamental digital transformation and a fundamental economic and business model transformation
definitely
that needs to take place. And that is and the outputs of that is unproven. We don't know where that's going. So at the moment, I would just leave it by saying that elements of Web3 will be included in enterprise, and we're starting to see that with enterprise blockchain, with supply chains, with NFTs, with other aspects of blockchain now being used widely. And we're also starting to see a lot of investment from institutions, especially in the financial sector. You
talked a bit, you talked a bit about some of the benefits that could draw enterprises in, like cost savings and maybe different business models. Do you have some examples in mind of what those could be?
Yeah, so for example, in telecoms roaming, right? So there's a huge cost associated with processing the records. So if I go to another country and I'm on the Vodafone network, and I go to another country and I have to roam on a partner network, sure. Then essentially the partner network needs to trust that I'm a valid subscription holder and that they will get their money back from Vodafone or whatever operator to settle that, right? So obviously with blockchain acting as a trust anchor, you can remove a lot of the other processes and records, that would be used for that. So for roaming, there's a clear economic process efficiency that you can get from having a trust anchor. The supply chain logistics, I think it's the same thing, where you have, you can trace goods from sort of, farm to the wholesale and distribution network, but also you can automate the transactions based on the data there. You can have more participants. You can build resilience into it by having interoperability because of the trust layer that blockchain provides. So I think these are the sorts of intermediate steps that we're seeing in terms of proving the technology. I think on a wider scale, I think it's really simple. Most of the business processes that we have, if we take a step back and look at them, are trustless. Yeah, everything. You go to get a mortgage, the bank doesn't trust you, the seller doesn't trust you. The bank wants to know who you are, KYC. They want to know where your money's coming from, AML. They want you to prove your income, so they won't take your word for it.
Sure.
They want you to prove a number of things, right? So
it's like a zero trust environment.
Yeah,
right?
And needless to say, the seller doesn't trust you at all, right?
Sure.
That you've got the money, etc.
Yeah.
So all of the processing and the cost associated with that is based on proving and establishing trust.
Yeah.
Renting a car is the same thing.
Sure.
They don't trust you. Can you pay? Do you have a license?
Are you going to bring it back?
On a macro layer, it's the same thing. Traveling, do you have a passport? Do you have the right credentials? Do you have the right health credentials? So that trust, where you have it in the form of a blockchain, where a person, a business, or a thing, IoT device, has verified, trusted credentials, which is on one blockchain, which can be shared with whoever needs to see it, provides the potential for business automation on a scale that we have never seen before.
Right.
And that may be an intermediate step, but for business models and consumer experience, it can be an absolutely massive step. So you put Amazon Go on steroids. You just walk up to a car, blockchain, verifiable credentials, walk away with it. You walk through the barriers of a passport control. You go for a mortgage. You just click a button. And these are the sort of things where people won't know a blockchain is behind it.
Sure.
They may not know verifiable credentials are behind it, but the impact on people and business models will be immense.
Definitely. So basically, one of the things that we had talked about previously is you have this concept of everything having a wallet, right? So all the items have wallets, the people have wallets, the companies have wallets, and then you have this concept of a wallet of wallets, right? So can you talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, again, it's one of the pictures in my mind that I'm trying with people like you. We're doing the same thing to bring to life. And
sure.
I sort of saw this picture 2-3 years ago, where I kept on saying to everyone who would listen that we're seeing a transition. Right? I was sort of saying, don't pay too much attention to your bank account. We're moving from a world of bank accounts and paper to a world of wallets, and the wallet will be who we're known by or how we're known.
Exactly.
I see a picture where companies have wallets, which is the sort of company P&L and the company accounts, and you can have company to company transactions using a wallet. Companies have wallets. Companies can give wallets to their devices. But also people have wallets, and those wallets will hold your digital identity. They will hold various payment credentials. They will hold various things about you, but multiple. So you have a wallet that holds your bank account, that holds your credit cards, that holds your mortgage, that holds your crypto, your tokens,
sure.
etc. And smart contracts are able to automate how and when these things are used, in what scenarios.
If I'm going through like 5 or 10 different metaverse worlds, I don't want to have accounts with all those different, environments, right? I want to just have a wallet, like you were saying, and I want to be quickly authenticated, and I want to be able to go and, hang out with my friends. And in all those different interactions, I just want things to work. I want things to interact and basically be able to work with me just as an individual or as a company. And I don't want to have an account with everything. So can you talk a little bit about that? Because I see this as a huge enabler of the open metaverse.
I think it is. And I think the interoperability obviously comes from a Web3 layer and a blockchain trusted layer, which allows you to do that. We're starting to see that in games. And NFT, and we missed out NFTs, right? Because what NFTs did in 2021, I don't think many people saw. But the thing about NFTs and why, and I'll get back to your point about interoperability, is that now you have, with tokenization and NFTs especially, the ability to have digital ownership. Your phone number could be an NFT. Your artwork could be an NFT. Your identity could be an NFT.
NFT, right?
Or you could have a.
And they're all in your wallet. They're all in your wallet, right?
And they're all in your wallet. Now, if aspects of your identity, which is, the car you own, is in your NFT or your home, then you just need to sell that NFT, and that ownership can change to someone else, right?
Yeah,
so
like that. Right.